a while back, when I was talking about my NDE playlist, all the people with their near-death experiences. I keep adding to that, by the way. If you haven't been to it in a while, you might want to go to the end. It's like 30 or 33 hours now or something like that. There's a lot of stuff there. And I told you that I had seen different ones where rarely, truly rarely, but sometimes people are misguided, misled, and it's the imposters that they're dealing with instead of the purity of the light. And I looked. At that time, I couldn't find the one I really wanted to share with you. It was a minister. And I'll come on it again one day. Meanwhile, I found something here, and some people are going to object to this because some people probably really believe in this young woman. She's very sweet, very dear, seems to have a totally sincere heart. She, in my opinion, is misled deeply. Her name is Angelica Zambrano. And I'll give you two links. She had, this one is 23 Hours Dead, Hell and Heaven Testimony. It's about an hour long. And she's speaking either Spanish or Portuguese or something, but the English is there. So it's easy enough to listen to, even if it's not synced up with her speaking. She was fasting. I think she said a 15-day fast. Fasting is dangerous and is best taken in small doses because you get ungrounded. You get spacey, and if you're not anchored in your body, other things can come in and you don't know it. And if you get in the presence of a lot of light, especially, you can lose it. I mean, look at us now, folks. We're all feeling oppressed and weighted down and challenged and, you know, just yucky. Well, what's the reason for that? The reason for that is we're entering a part of the galaxy that vibrates at a higher level. So there's more light, and so we're feeling crappy. That's what happens, you know, it stirs up the crap. All right, now with Angela, and her mother is with her in this. She's got a lot of support in her family and in her community, and she's going around and she gets huge crowds that come and listen to her now. Supposedly, Jehovah came to her and Jesus and escorted her down into hell and told her about and showed her all the people and how they were suffering, and all of them were begging for some relief, and they were repenting, and they were praying, and they were calling out to Jesus, and he was saying, so sad, too bad, you know, it's over for you. The only ones that have a chance to repent are those that are still alive. She's preaching a message of fear. It's totally fear-based. If you don't want to burn in hell, then give yourself to the Lord now. This is not pure. It's you make of it what you will. But I did, you know, I said that when I found something like this, I would share it. And I think if you'll center yourself in heart, you want to believe in this girl. She's very sweet. She was very young when this happened, but both times when she had her experience of being taken out of the body, and the second time, again, she was taken back to hell. And then I guess back to heaven. I didn't even finish the second one. They're very long, and I knew enough, you know, I didn't need to listen to her anymore. look and see how it feels to you and what your thoughts are. And be careful with fasting. I wouldn't do any more than about a 3-day fast. And even then, I would be sure to do things that were grounding, you know, such as bare feet on the soil, such as, you know, a walk in the park, such as whatever you can do. All right. Here's this journal. It's a rather short one that I wrote to go with it. Okay. Just as the recent journals have brought and spoken of much that is light, this one is to speak of that which pretends to be light but is dark. Earlier on, when creating my NDE playlist in YouTube, I spoke of having seen hundreds and hundreds of these stories and how some of them were not what the people thought they were. Instead, they were dealing with impostors of the light. This is the first video I have come on since back then where I could show you an example. This is a young woman, Angelica, telling her story of what she believes to be experiences with divine beings. Well, perhaps they're divine. I suppose we all are, if you get right down to it. But these are of a lower order that is not to be trusted. I'll explain. Again, and just to be transparent, in case you haven't heard me say it before, as I look at the Bible, to me, the God of that is not source or prime creator. I do believe in God. I just don't believe that's God. This one is numerous rungs down the spiral ladder from source. Personally, I believe Jehovah to be an ET, extraterrestrial, a being of great power and far advanced of the mankind of that day, but still not what I call God or source. Look at the way he always had the people warring and killing everything that breathed, you know. Now, if this offends you, please know that I support you in whatever your beliefs are as well. I'm not after followers here, or I would mold myself into a more pleasing image, huh? I'm just after truth, the highest that I can see, and sharing that with you. So I don't suggest you even follow my beliefs. Please follow your own. No one moves along the rising spiral of light by following another, not for very long. You must follow your own inner light, reconnect with that. Now, please know that I do believe in the divine. But I have nothing against anyone who does not. That's a suitable way, too, for those who are called to it. So no one will find any condemnation here for their path, whatever it is. I may not want to walk with you in it, but I totally support your right to choose your own way. Okay, that being said, on with this story of Angelica. And remember, this is just how I see things. What I see is that she has a good heart, and most of us do. She's a mystic and able to see into other planes. She's clairvoyant. So she sees spirits and beings that she believes to be angels, the Holy Spirit, and even Jehovah. At least this is who the Spirit said he is. And again, I suspect it may be that it's only when she's fasting that these abilities are strong in her. And they are in us all. Your telepathy and all of that increases when you're fasting. She tells the story of how Jehovah took her down into the depths of hell. For what purpose? Apparently, the people weren't taking hell seriously enough to suit him. He wanted her to see it so that she could report on it and bring an increase of fear into the hearts of the people. This from his own words, spoken through her, of course. This Jehovah can be seen not to be God by his words and teaching to this girl. He is full of judgment, punishment, and condemnation. These are his focus to her. He wants her and everyone else to be sufficiently frightened that they will obey and worship him in every way. so they won't have to go to hell, as he says again and again. I don't like reporting on this. I don't like seeing a young girl like this and those close to her being so deceived. Yet I present it to you here since it is what it is. I trust you'll be able to see and identify what I'm saying here if you'll just watch it. As I see it, this may indeed be the being Jehovah and his coterie of angels. I don't know. It's also possible that these are imitators of those beings. One way or another, dark beings can put on a temporary appearance of light. This is why I often say that no matter the appearance of any being that appears to you, be in heart first and then question them. Don't trust the report of your eyes. Let heart decide instead. Let's not be taken in. Many of the technologically advanced races of beings have holography in such an advanced stage that they can present fictitious appearances too. It could also be a total false creation generated by advanced holographic technology. Again, I don't know. I just know that heart tells me it is not true or real. Whatever else it is, it's false. Anyone who has been deeply into heart or into the now or higher consciousness states will know that there is no judgment there at all, not even a whiff, much less the heavy-duty version offered to Angelica. It is not divine. That's my take on it. While the video is almost an hour long, you can tell in the first 10 or 20 minutes what I'm speaking of here. The girl is very dear. She is simply deceived. And there are many more like her out there singing their song of their version of truth. Many will probably be taken in. It sounds so special, so believable. Oh well. I don't know what kind of testings and challenges may be ahead for us. I do feel, though, that by staying in heart, there is simply nothing that we can't handle or that will mislead us for long. So have no fear at all. Even if we pursue something that we later realize was misinformation or disinformation, no big deal. By staying in heart, we will always be guided. Besides, you and I are every bit as divine as Jehovah or anyone. Not in our human consciousness, but in our essence, our core. Source is source. It doesn't get better than being a source being, one with the divine, an emanation of that. God walks the earth through us, my friends. And sure, we have to wake up to that at some point. And we have to clean up. There's a lot of negative energy and misunderstanding and false beliefs we've picked up on the way, and it's got to go. It's like having the prison door key in your pocket all along, but not knowing it. You don't reach for or use what you don't know you have. Claim your divinity. And that makes knowing who you are just about the most important thing on anyone's list. Everything else rests on that. It's the foundation. If you think you're the body or the mind, you'll think and act totally differently than knowing you're divine. All of your assumptions are wrong if they're based on a lesser self-definition than source. They'll have to be changed. So, why not start out with the full understanding from the start? Own your divinity. Live up to that or live into it. If I find other videos made by people who are deluded this way, I'll make a playlist of them. Once we wise up to the ways we're being deceived, we're just not vulnerable to that anymore. Do you see? Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Namaste. And God bless. And God bless Angelica, Zambrano, and all the rest too. We're all one. And Jehovah, and all the rest. All of it, all of it, all of it. We're all one with it. Let's own it. Good day. My NDE playlist, all the people with their near-death experiences. I keep adding to that, by the way. If you haven't been to it in a while, you might want to go to the end. It's like 30 or 33 hours now or something like that. There's a lot of stuff there. And I told you that a while back, when I was talking about instead of the purity of the light, and I looked at that time, I couldn't find the one I really wanted to share with you. It was a minister, and I'll come on it again one day. Meanwhile, I found something here. I had seen different ones where rarely, truly rarely, but sometimes people are misguided, misled, and it's the imposters that they're dealing with. And some people are going to object to this because some people probably really believe in this young woman. She's very sweet, very dear, seems to have a totally sincere heart. She, in my opinion,